We are going to be live in three, two, one. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Daily Direct. If you missed the first one, this is basically our nightly news show where we discuss the daily happenings of the Nintendo Switch, the games we're playing, and then take questions from you lovely folks out there. So obviously today the focus is going to be on the Direct and the crazy announcements that occurred during that 32-minute showcase. We will take questions at the end, and we will incorporate some of your thoughts throughout. But to begin, Gabe, the big thing on everyone's mind is obviously Smash Bros. So I think we have to start right there.
We have a couple.
They're saying I'm muted again, by the way.
You're saying you're muted?
Yes. We'll incorporate some
I'm
of.
not sure, dude. I hear. No, you're not muted. Go.
Okay. All right. Good. Go ahead. Smash Bros.
All right. We made a couple of videos about it already, so I'm gonna try not to belabor any like weird points. They're saying that they were the ones that were muted, not us. Gotcha. All right. So Smash Brothers, obviously super freaking exciting. I think it's a new game. I think a lot of people are starting to think it's a new game. You think it's a port. Again, we've talked about that in other videos, but absolutely awesome that the Squid Kids are coming, right?
I don't know why anyone thinks it's a new game. I don't think any indication says it's a new game, but we can get into that a little bit later. I'm curious. I'm curious to know what people out there think. By the way, welcome one and all. Thank you for being here. We do appreciate it, and we love you. Go ahead, ask me your question.
My question is it just me, or are you seeing that sentiment around? Like, are others saying that, hey, it seems like it's a new game? Have you picked that up online at all?
I see Smash 5, but I don't know that that's. I don't think that they're. My thinking is that it's not like, oh, is it either or? They're just thinking Smash Switch, okay, it's a new game.
In the video we made, hey, entitled Smash Brothers Switch, a new game report, a lot of the people in the comments are saying new game. Like, that seems to be what fans think. I know that might be what fellow YouTubers are thinking. Press hasn't talked about it too much from what I've seen, but I think if we were to poll people right now, I think new game is what wins in that poll.
What does new game qualify as? Does new game have to be nothing the same?
That's
to me, if you're saying new game, you mean that nothing is going to be the same.
Well, no, because Mario Kart 8 has levels that are like in other games, right?
No,
redone.
That's fine. I just mean in the same way that Brawl is very different from Melee, is very different from 64.
Yeah.
The foundation here is wholly new, is what you're saying.
I think so.
I'm gonna say that that's crazy talk. I think it's absolutely an expanded, updated version of the last, but we will see. Well, someone, Ty Simpkins, is making a comparison that Splatoon 2 is a new game. That very much is wholly new. Yes, it still exists in the same world and franchise, but it's a brand new single player, brand new multiplayer.
Okay, so here's this question then. What if it keeps the same art style, but new stages, like all the stages are new? Like maybe bring back a couple, right? But the art style's mainly the same. Like, do you feel like that's new enough?
I don't think visuals matter. I mean, I don't know. I very much think that it's a port, and you said yourself you very much trust Emily Rogers, and she wholly said that, yes, how they present this, how they market this may be interesting, but it is absolutely an upgraded version. We'll see. We'll get there. Again, we could talk about Smash forever, but I want to kind of talk a little bit about where and how we feel Nintendo has sort of set things up, because a lot of concern was like, okay, is 2018 going to deliver? They've promised games per month. They've promised this. They promised a steady release flow. Now that we kind of have things set up through E3, do you feel like, hey, first half 2018 is delivering on that promise?
If only it wasn't like Smash being so huge, right? Because there's a lot of underwhelming stuff in this direct, right? Like I think that's a safe thing to say. A lot of these ports, people don't seem to be gravitating towards. It's not what people want. I don't know if people care about Undertale. Treasure Tracker, like smaller game that didn't do like extremely hot the first time. Like, if we're honest, the whole first of like 90% of the stream of the direct, you and I were not feeling the direct very much.
Sure, but are they delivering on the promise of a big release consistently, and that they would provide and pump out titles for the Switch, and that it would not suffer from a drought or a a dead period like the Wii
Yeah.
U?
Okay. April, Labo, May, Hyrule, and Donkey Kong. June. Okay. Yeah, they're delivering on consistency. It might not be consistency with like the games we want, but there is consistency of releases on Switch. Yes, they're delivering, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
I feel like the port getting a little intense there. I wish that they were a little more spread out. I wish something like, say, Toad Treasure Tracker was a fall release, and not a tentpole fall release, but that it was shifted so that we didn't have this like glut of ports. Clearly, to me, what's happening is that the first half of the year is, hey, we're filling with filler. There is some new stuff. Tennis Aces looks to be bigger, and I do want to touch on that in a minute. Kirby Star Allies, obviously. But it seems like this is going to be a tale of two halves, where the second half, and obviously Smash is a part of that, is going to be a far more exciting and satisfying set of Switch games. But I will say that I tried to sort of reset my expectations and just look at the list. It still is a pretty good direct. For a March direct that doesn't, there was no promise that it would be, this epic unveiling. Had we not thought, oh, Fire Emblem, oh, this, that, I feel like it's still like, hey, they're bringing a lot to Switch, and Nintendo is putting effort to, from a first-party standpoint, bring quite a bit.
Yeah. Are you happy with the first half of the year? Right. Not now that it's clearly Bayonetta, Kirby, and then Labo, and then
Hyrule, Donkey Kong.
Yeah, Hyrule, Donkey Kong, and what's right after that? Aces is June.
Aces.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I'm a little, I feel like it's a little lackluster only because Bayonetta, Hyrule, and Donkey Kong are all ports of games that I played. And again, I get it, but I feel like it needs, I feel like they're doing enough. I feel like they're delivering Switch. And look, frankly, there's plenty of other games. The indie scene is super strong right now, and whether we have played the titles or not, they are getting quite a bit of port support. It's not new port support, but again, we have made very clear that we're giving them till E3 to deliver on the day-and-date multi-platform. So right now, they're still in that period of whatever. I was a little surprised that we didn't see a Wolfenstein 2 date, because there had been some talk that was coming sooner rather than later. And I wonder when that hits. I feel like that's got to be pre-E3.
yeah, that better not be a fall game. That's gonna get lost.
I mean, to me, that's a far bigger deal than South Park or Okami. Bless you.
Thank you.
So I would love to see that be unveiled. Our good buddy Jiren over on the Discord, by the way, there's a link in the description if you want to be a part of that, was saying what was going through our heads when they said one more announcement.
I had faith in certain leakers, and I thought it was gonna be Call of Duty.
Yeah.
That's what was going through my head when they said the one more announcement thing.
For me, I was in such a Splatoon mode. I was like, you got to be kidding me. It's more Splatoon. Like, are they adding the Splatoon 1 stages? Are they, what are they doing? But as soon as I snapped out of that and I saw that it was like a blank background and it wasn't it was obviously like a CG, ooh, very much instantly was like, okay, Smash, because Inkling has been what everyone has wanted added to the game.
Yeah.
I still feel like the fact that they showed them coming to the cast is the greatest indicator that they are being added and not like they're building a whole new bunch.
No, I know, but we talked about this earlier. That could just be a creative.
Also, why is Mario old Mario if this is brand new?
I don't know, it's just Mario. Well, we don't know that it's old Mario. It's just Mario without Cappy. Who's to say that this is Mario going forward? This is one game.
Mm.
But the reveal, right, that you touched on, it could easily just be like a creative choice that they thought that would be a fun way to introduce it, right? Because
And it could easily be a way to slowly get
yeah,
people accustomed that this is a port.
yeah, yeah.
Let's set Smash aside. What was your other favorite thing in the direct? Obviously, Smash is our favorite. That's everyone's favorite, right?
Man, Splatoon, you talked about it. The expansion, the Octo expansion, that looks so cool. While we like broke to go have like dinner and stuff before the stream, that's what I was doing. I played a little bit of Splatoon. Like I really got excited for the new content coming, version 3. That's coming next month, with the tons of new outfits and things like that, new maps for multiplayer. But that expansion, $20 for what is seemingly a pretty decent sized chunk little campaign.
A decent. It's
80s,
almost triple the main
yeah.
campaign. I don't understand that. And I verified. I went back and I was like, yeah, there's 32 stages in Splatoon 2 single player. What? And like it straight up says, that it's going to be a very sizable. The new single player campaign features 80 missions, hefty new single player mode. Yeah, I'm not.
And
I'm not.
just stylistically, right? And just like the vibe of it, it's a very cool
Yeah.
little vibe. It's very different than what the first Splatoon campaign did. Like that to me is the most exciting thing.
Yeah. For me, it was Tennis Aces. I think that game, it looks far bigger and better than I expected. I feel like they have righted the ship of the Mario Sports titles, which were getting, for lack of a better term, dumbed down, simplified, mushed together, and now they have blown out the tennis experience with the campaign, with the full-on mode, with the purist mode, with online multiplayer, with tournaments, with some of the new shots, the energy meter. Like it looks to be to me, this kind of feels like it could be the Mario Strikers of tennis, and maybe be a really exciting and fun version that sort of reaches beyond its sport and just becomes like a fun party game.
Yeah, like that has to be my runner up, right? If I can't say Smash and I already said Splatoon, like that is super exciting. I'm not great at Mario Tennis historically, as
You have a new chance to train.
as you saw, but like the fact that we're gonna be able to play online, there's gonna be online tournaments. You're gonna unlock characters and outfits playing online. Like all that's music to my ears. Like that's a really cool thing, and hopefully they can build a community that thrives online, because that's not something every Nintendo game does super well. So I have high hopes for sure.
Saw an interesting theory, and I wanted to just mention it briefly. There's a lot of scuttlebutt beforehand about Fortnite and about this Mario Odyssey Kingdoms DLC. Do you think in any way those were misguided rumors that were in fact supposed to be saying Luigi's Mansion remake for 3DS and Fortnite on mobile?
Trying to be careful here. No, I think that
Because it's very convenient, isn't it? It's very coincidental.
I think it's pure coincidence. Yeah, I think
On
it's
both accounts.
Fortnite. You talking about the mobile thing?
Like that. What if the Fortnite Switch thoughts were actually leading to this mobile reveal? Is it odd that Fortnite didn't announce for Switch, but they did announce for mobile? Does that lower your?
No,
You think Fortnite still happens on Switch,
100%. They honestly they've said as much. Like Epic,
but
has
not
said,
Call of Duty?
no. And we have some proof that Call of Duty is coming, right? We had that one website. You said it was a Spanish website or something that said that like you can pre-order now for these things, but like they were
Yeah.
indicating that there's gonna be more pre-order for Switch. I just feel like if it was coming to Switch, why wouldn't it just be in the press release that Activision like put out today?
If it's part of a bigger show, I mean,
Then it has to be. You think Call of Duty at E3 is something that Sony or Microsoft like allow? Like, I don't know.
I just feel. I don't know. I mean, I'm beginning to feel just like a weird way about all these different leaks and all of this different stuff.
Yeah, same.
With that being said, there were a couple of things announced in the Japanese Direct that were not present in America, or the North American or the European. Taiko Drum Master coming to Switch. I know you're pumped for that game. We saw the Donkey Konga
Bongos?
patent today.
The
It's not going to be
bongos?
bongos.
Oh
It's not going to be
man.
the bongos, but it is a drum game coming. I think the 3DS focus is also interesting. We covered this in a couple of videos, but I do find the 3DS focus to be something don't want to say odd,
No,
but
we should expect it. Nintendo said as much, right? Maybe we should start taking them at their word a little bit more. When they say
yeah.
like, "Hey, 3DS isn't dead," like they mean it. Like they have a couple of sizable games. You mentioned Luigi's Mansion, the Bowser's Inside Story remake with the edition. Like those are cool games that I would have loved to have on Switch. Captain Toad is coming to Switch, but that's also being released over there. So they still have some cool stuff coming.
Yeah, we got an interesting comment here. Aqua Chamaster says Mario Tennis looks fun. I love the story mode aspects of those games. That really draws me in. Hopefully, Nintendo still blows us away with 2 AAA games, something like Pokemon Fire Emblem. If they do a Smash Pokemon Holiday, and this is something that we discussed before,
Yes,
I very much think that year 2 is just as good as year 1.
those two things alone, right? And that
Because we
automatically,
know we know that there's going to be Yoshi, and we know that there's got to be, they're not going to just have Pokemon at E3. They're going to have more. But those being the groundwork, like, I feel like a Zelda Mario first year and a Smash Pokemon second year. I mean, this sets up for like the biggest disappointment ever. Third year. But again, third year could be Animal Crossing and Metroid. It seems like they really have thought this out expertly this time around.
yeah. I tend to share the same sentiment. Like, inevitably, that leads to a more lackluster like first 3/4 of the year.
Yeah, yeah.
But I'm honestly okay with that because I've said this before. I'm one of the people that didn't play the Wii U as much as I probably should have. So a lot of
Right.
these things are new to me. So I'm very happy to be a Switch owner right now. I think there's a lot of very good stuff coming. They showed even like I've played a little bit of this game. I never finished it. Like Dark Souls. Like to me, taking that on the go is gonna be really really cool.
Yeah, no, I agree, and I think again there is this sort of like dichotomy between the players that have played and the players that have not played a lot of these ports. Um, I do want to mention Crash Bandicoot because I feel like that was overlooked. I feel like on any other day that would have been a bigger announcement. Shout out to Crash in the background there. He's been waiting to jump down onto the Switch on the lower shelf, but I feel like that Insane Trilogy. Set aside the fact that yes, it's a good game. Set aside the fact that yeah, it's about a year late. I feel like that's a nice get for Nintendo, and I feel like it's a nice show of faith from Activision.
Yeah, good to see Activision step in, right? Maybe that leaves room for Call of Duty. I don't think that 100% Call of Duty is not coming, and I'm not going to turn this into Call of Duty. We're still talking about Crash.
Yeah.
But it's just good to see Activision support the Switch in another way because before this, we had, Skylanders? I don't know if we had much else. So, Crash, a game that was very well received and a good update and kind of reinvigorated Crash as a series. It seems like I feel like we get a new Crash game going forward, and seeing it on a Nintendo platform. Right, these games are PlayStation games. Seeing that on Switch is weird, but I like it.
Crash had some presence on GameCube, but it absolutely is
Yes,
good to see
yes.
him.
I'm talking about
Oh,
the
this original trilogy,
these,
yeah,
yeah.
for sure. No, I think all in all, like that is a really nice get. Now, a couple people have mentioned, do we think that this opens the door for Crash and Smash?
Yes. Yes. It's a good fit. It's a good
It is,
good
it
fit.
is a good fit.
And I said this in the Smash video. I think that we get a third party like character, right? Because
Yeah.
we've had quite a few now. Crash fits. Crash really does.
Yeah, I mean they have the model, for a new fuzzier, more 2018 looking Crash. We've got a lot of debate going on whether Smash is new, whether Smash is not new.
And
I feel like that's gonna rage until E3.
yeah, Zach and I talked about it. For anyone that wasn't here in the beginning of the stream, to be clear, I think it's new. Zach thinks it's a port. That's just where we are with it right now.
I do want to touch on, since we mentioned, Switch games that we play. That's something that is going to be part of these daily things. I want to touch on Scribblenauts Showdown for a hot minute. It obviously got completely overshadowed by this direct, and the hype for the direct, and now Smash Brothers. But it's actually a pretty interesting game, and I think it's one that deserves to be spotlighted. We posted a gameplay video today. The board game mode is really fun. There's a little bit of a small supply of mini games. There's 27. But they're very fun, and they're able to be modified because you are using the Scribblenauts word mechanic, the dictionary, to kind of change these games up. So when you do a racing minigame, you're picking what creature you race on. Or when you do a balance all the falling objects, you're picking the falling objects that what they are. We did a drone delivery mini game where you're deciding what you're delivering, and the heavier thing you deliver, the more points you get, but also then, the harder it is and the bigger. We even like goofed, and we were doing a mini game where you're flying through a cave, and we both picked giant vehicles. I picked a tram, Jake picked a jet, and we could not fit through portions of the cave. So we both just died in the first like 10 seconds of the mini game. It has a really cool speed game mechanic as well. And you're doing these like really quick events like tug of war, or like what's that freaking, I used to have one of these, tetherball. There's like a tetherball mini game, a whack a pinata game.
I was a king at tetherball back in the day.
The tetherball one is really fun. It's like happening so fast. You're just like, you have to hit with the Joy-Con. Very, very cool. And I love that it has this card element. You're playing cards, and instead of each mini game just occurring at the end of a turn, sort of the unique mechanic here is that you play a card with a minigame and a perk or a benefit. So if it says like move forward 4, whoever wins the minigame gets to move forward 4. So you're risking on your turn playing a card that, if you lose the minigame, benefits your opponent. There's also quick play cards that lead to those shorter games. And then there's also instant cards that give you just like 2 spaces forward. So it's a very similar to Smash Bros. Type thing. I'm sorry, to Mario Party. Smash is just on the mind. But it has its own tweaks and twists. I love that it's $40. I think you should check out the video, and it's definitely worth getting a look this week. I think it's one of the more sound Switch games, and it's wholly new, day and date release of other platforms. It's pretty cool. Scribblenauts Showdown.
Yeah, and since you're talking about content that already happened that people can go check out, I also wanted to mention the Splatoon Splatfest. I'm going to be streaming that. For people, because now I'm super excited about Splatoon. My excitement for that franchise has been reinvigorated, so you guys can expect that as well throughout the weekend. But Zach, do you want to start taking questions, or is there anything else you wanted to touch on before we moved on? Because we covered a lot of it in the video, so I want to make sure that people would still watch those.
We did, yeah. You guys can start submitting questions. I think that's more than fine. And we'll just touch on sort of some things along the way. While you type out your questions, I do want to point out I'm wearing the first year anniversary shirt. These are still available for a couple more days if you want to remember and celebrate the first year. We have a 12 icon shirt that represents the 12 months and the 12 best games. I'm already thinking about the year 2 shirt. Gonna have a little Bayonetta icon right here. Kirby here, Labo here, little cardboard, probably Donkey Kong here, and then we'd be putting Mario Tennis here, Captain Toad, or hopefully something more there, and then like right about here is going to be Smash.
Hopefully.
It's not What do you think? A December launch? I think it's got to be September, October with that online service.
I wanted to address this because we didn't talk about it, and we talked about it in the other video, but very quickly, Project Octopath Traveler for my hardcore people here. I think the game looks beautiful. I wish it was coming out a little bit sooner. The new character stuff doesn't excite me very much just because I don't know how it's all going to fit into the context of the branching paths and all of that. But very, very excited for that. I just wanted to throw that out there.
Nice, and that hits in July as well.
Yeah.
Ethan Heiskell says, "What character would you add to Smash if you could add anyone?" And I feel like that is more appropriate today than ever.
Arkham just said this, so credit to him. I was going to say this earlier. I've been on a Dragon Ball like rabbit hole lately.
Look, how that makes any sense. The Bandai Namco love that Nintendo and them share.
Yeah, man, stick in Goku. Yeah, why not?
I mean, I feel like we can't even get fighters. Maybe it's a tandem announcement.
Yeah, but Pac-Man is in Smash, so.
Yeah. Pac-Man's also on Switch. I guess Xenoverse 2 is on Switch.
Yeah, is Xenoverse not?
Mine will always continue to be King K. Rool.
Yeah.
I think he's the dopiest, most underused villain in Nintendo history, and I really want more of him.
Here's a fun question. Not fun, but we both want to know the answer to this, and we hope we know it. Matthew says, when do you think Hollow Knight is going to come out? We hope it's this month. We were both kind of bummed that there was no mention of it this time.
Yeah, we're getting Flint Hook tomorrow, which is a great game. Definitely worth the look. It doesn't have the fervor as the same fervor as Hollow Knight, but it's definitely a super fun game. I think it's one of those like, hey, it's coming out this week. Maybe like the week of the 23rd, the week after Kirby. Around there. They're like the 22nd, 23rd. I could see that happening.
Yeah.
I think That's fair. Meagle says Fortnite has to come to Switch. It's going to iPhone next week.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I feel like that's fair. Yeah, Smash and Fortnite are like the two topics of the town right now. That's what everyone is talking about. What everyone wants. Misogyny says, what a name. Will we get a Pokemon Direct or will it be saved for the big E3 announcement? I think that's gonna break trends and absolutely be an E3 thing.
Yeah, Zach thinks that the Pokemon Company doesn't do E3.
I mean, I thought Smash was E3 and they completely
Yeah.
bucked the general consensus there.
Yeah. That's a very, very fair point.
Connor Ellers wants us to predict an exact date for Smash Bros. So I'm gonna look at my trusty calendar here.
Same. All right. Do we know an exact date for the online?
No, it's just September 2018.
Okay. I think Smash is September 28th.
I'm gonna say the 14th. I'm gonna say online and Smash launch September 14th, 9/14/18.
I'm going a couple weeks after that. I mean, we both think it's September, so.
It was interesting again that nothing from Platinum. I mean, I know they have Bayonetta 1, 2, and 3, but from the rest of their catalog, I feel like they're always a part of this. By the way, if you're just joining, this is the Daily Direct. It's a show we'll be doing a couple times a week now where we cover the latest news, the latest announcements, rumors, things that are too small for their own video, but things that are still important to discuss. Sometimes things that are big enough for 5 videos in the case of Smash Bros. The Direct, as well as the games we're playing, and then involving you guys and girls and taking your questions, which is what we're doing right now. Zachary Johnson wants to know why we changed the logo on the thumbnails. Well, we felt like since year 1 was complete for Switch, we would make a year 2 upgrade as well. So we changed the banner, we changed the logo slightly, and we are primed and ready for a fantastic next 12 months.
Hades, one of our sponsors, says, will Gabe pick up Toad?
You have to.
I don't have to.
It's a great game.
I'm sure it is.
I'm surprised you played so little of the Wii U catalog.
Yeah. Honestly, what happened is my cat chewed through a couple of dude. The wire for the gamepad was so thin, man.
The good old dog ate my homework excuse.
Yeah, I played.
The good news,
huh?
The good news is I'm sending you a 3DS, so
Yeah.
you are going to play WarioWare Gold, which I think is the stealth hidden gem of the Direct. That yes, it's 3DS, so I know it gets overlooked, but a brand new WarioWare, the biggest yet. Fully voiced characters. Did you see his face? They even said, look at this face.
Squampy says, you guys got to do a Let's Play of the new WarioWare where Gabe dresses up as Wario. I have the hat. I have the hat in the other room. I'm good. We can do that, man. I might be down for that.
Base Cheese It, Black Ops 4 on Switch this year. I still think it happens. There's 2 opportunities. The May Call of Duty community event and E3. I still think they get it.
I think it's 100% not happening at the community event. I'm not saying it's not happening, but the community event, I think that's going to focus on like showing off, like, hey, multiplayer and streaming, things like that. I think Switch is
the only reason that it would be not announced is if Nintendo wanted to own it, which would have to be E3 then.
Yeah, I mean, but then again, I don't know how the other companies are going to feel about that because they have exclusivity deals and such. So.
The questions are coming in fast now. Let's go with this one. Dylan Lasagna says, great name, by the way, Dylan. What third-party game for the Switch do you predict for E3? Third-party prediction.
Do you have
I
one?
can give you mine. Yeah, Madden. I think Madden is a surefire announcement for E3.
Dragon Ball FighterZ. I think that happens, dude, because people showed up for Xenoverse 2, and I think Bandai will reciprocate with their promise. I'm not shaving anything to grow a Mario mustache, Jiren. It's not happening, buddy.
Oh, you should.
Nah.
I mean, we couldn't even get Gabe to get excited for Metroid Prime 4, so
I'm excited. I show excitement differently.
You said you're gonna jump off the roof or something.
Yeah.
You had this like epic plan, and then they announced it, and you literally sat there.
I'll go jump off a roof right now.
Please don't.
You know I show my excitement different than y'all.
A very internal excitement.
I'm a very internal person.
Let's see. Madden would be good.
Overwatch. I don't think Overwatch is coming in.
I do want to touch on this.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that we get Mario Odyssey DLC still? Do you think that still comes? We mentioned it a little bit in the video, but I just wanted to address it here. Do you guys think that? Do you think we're going to still get a Mario Odyssey DLC? You know,
I,
we mentioned that Splatoon 2 DLC comes 8 months post launch. E3 would be 8 months post Switch launch, Mario Odyssey launch. So I feel it hits there.
yeah.
We did get a donation. Thank you so much. This comes from Toshi Raniko. Hope we're saying that right. Just want to say I feel Smash is going to be a DX upgrade with things from both Wii and 3DS and maybe a new story mode.
Hope you guys appreciated that, Zach. It popped up on screen with the little mark. Remember, we set this up yesterday. So yeah, I'm just cool that it's cool that we got to see it. But yes, huge thank you for the donation. Honestly, I wouldn't even be mad at that. Really, I'm not mad if it's a DX upgrade. Like, are you? Like, are you like less excited for Smash? Like, no. Like, I think it's still gonna be like super fun.
The only way it's disappointment is if it literally is Inklings plus Smash Wii U. Then I'm like,
and nothing else. Yeah.
But I don't think there's any way it could be that. Yeah, it seems like people are still predicting Mario Odyssey Kingdom DLC. I do like my expectations now are all just out of whack because before I was saying I think this is the last direct before E3. I very much think now there will be another direct before E3. I very much think there are still titles like like Fire Emblem that need to get out the way. By the way, a number of people have asked about Monster, and I fully think Monster Hunter is coming to Switch. I don't feel like it will be World, but the insane success of Monster Hunter World on PS4 and Xbox One, Capcom's best-selling game of all time, you know they've got a team prepping a Switch version.
Yeah, 100%.
Of Monster Hunter.
Yeah, just not World. Yeah, so.
Yeah. So I think that'll be very cool. And all in all, like a sentiment I very much came to while I was eating dinner tonight is like it's so impressive to me how well Nintendo is supporting their titles post-launch. I think that is something that has gone underappreciated, that Nintendo is not a company that previously embraced DLC, that previously embraced updates. All of a sudden, like their games are getting very long shelf life because of updates and because of substantial improvements. Even ARMS, they still are trying to make it a thing. They've they're done with character DLC, but they're still trying to work on that. Boy. Splatoon 2 is carrying way out. They promised a year of updates and they're delivering. I just think it's really nice to see. And I feel like they have a healthy mix of paid and free DLC. Splatoon 2 is now getting a paid DLC, which is interesting. We got another donation, a question from Wing Toaster 14 who says DLC for Kirby. They did announce today the Friends DLC, which will be free friends that are added as allies to the game. Do you think there is story DLC or similar $20 DLC for that game?
No, I really don't think so. I think that the friends being added is as close as we're gonna get to anything DLC wise with Kirby. I don't think we get new worlds or new stages. Nothing like that.
Yeah, I would tend to agree
because it's catered to such a young audience, and younger audiences generally don't do DLC. I mean, they do, right? That's a blanket statement that I don't want to make. A lot of young people play all types of games, and they get season passes and stuff. But I just don't see it happening for Kirby.
Yeah, I feel like they will do the character DLC. I feel like
yeah, but there is free DLC
I
for
don't
Kirby.
I don't even want to say some things just because of the data mine. So Kirby's sort of a sensitive topic right now. Jacob Kim says, I feel like everyone forgot about the Yoshi game. I don't think it feels like Nintendo kind of forgot. I'm genuinely shocked that there has been so little on that game. They must have shown it just so early.
Why? Do you think it was originally meant to come out earlier?
Maybe it has snagged along the way. I mean, we'll never know. I guess it could be that, like, hey, one of these ports is filling that hole. It's weird to me that Yoshi is going to be an E3 thing. I mean, it was an E3 thing last year.
Which makes me feel away. We've been asked this a couple of times, but Soda Pop wants to know our opinion on Undertale. I love the game. Zach doesn't.
I've never played it. I will buy it.
Yeah, so
I'll buy it and try it.
Yeah, we're asked a lot about Undertale now here in chat, but I love it. I think it's great. I feel a type of way about the coming eventually thing. Don't like that. Don't like that at all.
Yeah, I thought that was a little bit odd. I'm not really. I get it, like, haha, indie games don't have dates.
Yeah.
But I don't really like embracing it in that way. Someone made a good point here, and I'm going to try to scroll up and find out who this is. It comes from Adam Ashbaker. We talked about how Captain Toad is $60, and I confirm that right now Captain Toad Treasure Tracker is listed at GameStop for a $60 pre-order. That has to drop, right?
Yeah, I don't think it stays that way. No way.
it was a $40 title when it launched on Wii U. I don't think there's any. I mean, to me, that would be one of the most egregious things of 2018 if
Yeah.
they were going to try. I mean, we don't know how many added levels there are from the Mario Odyssey expansion. If it doubles the game, then maybe. But if it's just a few additions, there's no way. There's no way that should happen, right?
Yeah. Red guy, yeah, we absolutely almost know for a fact that Smash is going to be at E3. Asking, do we think it will be there? Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I think it absolutely. I think it's going to be the focal. I don't know. Pokemon seems to be the focal point, but I feel like that will be. But Smash absolutely will be there. Isaac Berger wants to know if we think Fire Emblem is still hitting in 2018 or if that is going to get pushed.
2018. I could see. I'm so sorry I cut you off. I could see it having the Xenoblade. Xenoblade. Sorry, I get that.
December?
Yeah, I think a December release for Fire Emblem could work.
Or August.
Yeah, I mean, there's a number of options.
Yeah, I really hope that $60 price tag for Captain Toad is not the.
Yeah.
Silent Reaper wants to know: do we think that they will add a story mode similar to Brawl to this new Smash? Whether it is a port or whether it is new, do you think that they will go back to that Subspace Emissary sort of, crossover storyline style?
It's so hard. It's a toss up. I don't. Maybe I don't have a answer necessarily to you.
I think no.
Okay. Do you have like reasons why or?
I feel like that happened once, and it's weird that it wasn't included in the Wii U version. I know that there was some just strangeness around that. I remember at that time there was a YouTube issue where they were saying like, "Hey, we don't want this to be spoiled. We don't want people posting this." I don't know. I feel like they felt the type of way about that, and I don't know. I feel like the Switch is such a multiplayer focused machine, and the point of this Smash Brothers is to encourage and enhance that feature. I think this is all about setting up at some dorm room or at some playground or in your friend's basement and playing Smash Brothers multiplayer.
Yeah. Pastrami, thank you for the donation, by the way.
Rick McDonald, do you guys think Fallout is coming for a Switch?
We have no indication of it. I mean, it's possible just because Bethesda had a really good year last year. Skyrim was possible, so I think either New Vegas or Fallout 3 are definitely a possibility. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I think Bethesda has a strong relationship. Once we get Wolfenstein 2 out the way, something's coming from them, right? I don't think they just dip out on Switch. They've been very pleased with the performance of Skyrim, so it makes good sense. Let's touch on just a couple more games also. A couple more things from today. Okami, it's nice that is an eShop game. I like that. I'd like to see more of that. I'd like to see some of these ports take on an eShop role than like, hey, it's a major release. I hope that comes in at $20 like the other versions were. Let's head to the dark side. Most disappointing or least favorite announcement from today?
I can guess yours.
Yeah.
Is it South Park?
No.
Okay. I mean, I don't know if I can call it most disappointing just because I don't care about the sushi game, whatever that sushi game is.
No, I think there's a clear choice, Gabe. I think you're just forgetting it.
Clear choice.
Travis Strikes Again, No More Heroes, looking like
God.
a top-down beat 'em up.
God,
what is
that?
that?
Looks bad. That looks bad, man.
I don't know what happened. I mean, initially we were concerned that it was just like a downloadable indie game, and then they're like, no, this is a full-on thing, but it sure doesn't seem like it.
It looks budget. The top-down style of it, and there's more, right? The racing thing. There's like an arcade mode and story mode. That does not look hot. I don't know.
It looked very subpar to me.
Agreed. I did.
Luckily, it's overshadowed by Smash and Tennis Aces and Pressing and WarioWare. But that's got to be one of the bigger disappointments thus far of the Switch life cycle because both of us, placed that high on our list for games we were insanely eager for. In fact, just recently, Gabe, you said that third-party game you're most pumped for on Switch was that game.
Yeah, that's gone. That's gone just by seeing like that gameplay. That was not a good showing. And I don't want to like condemn the game before it's out. Like
Sure.
clearly we're gonna wait till we see more and we get our hands on it and stuff. But what we saw now is not good.
Yeah, I apologize for the yawns. It has been a long day of gaming and videoing.
Yeah, a couple more questions. It's getting late, Zach.
I really liked also the Dark Souls amiibo. I love seeing
Beautiful.
Nintendo expand the amiibo beyond their characters. It feels a little weird. I feel like it's a little non-Nintendo like to do that. But it just, I guess, speaks to them taking risks
Yeah.
beyond what they're comfortable with. Let's touch on a rumor that was presented today. It was in the morning, well before any of this stuff. But there was some talk that the Pokemon Switch game is going to be a reboot of the franchise. Now, there's no indication of what exactly that means. The Reddit thread seemed to take that to mean revisiting the original 150, revisiting the red and blue, revisiting that era. I don't know that I interpret a reboot that way. Do you?
I Pokemon is such a weird franchise to have like a reboot like thing like mentioned. If it is like, hey, here's Blue like remade in a very like cool, more open art style, then I'd be all for that. Because honestly, I don't know too many other Pokemon than the original 150. But
Like, please just go back to that original
yeah,
list.
go back.
800. That's way too many.
Yeah, I'm ready to go back. But yeah, but I don't even know what a Pokemon reboot looks like.
To me, when I hear that, I think of rebooting the mechanics and the sort of the flow of the game, not necessarily going back to the original area. You know what I mean? Like I don't think that necessarily. I don't know. When I hear reboot, I think of like fresh take, not remake.
Yeah.
Again, it's just a rumor. I also want to point out, I thought this was kind of an interesting article here. This was also from this morning. Nintendo is expected to have a larger share of the console market than Microsoft this year as the Switch continues to perform well. Analysis from IHS Market reveals that over $10 billion was spent globally on Xbox hardware, software, and services in 2017, while spending on Nintendo products was around $8 billion. They expect Nintendo to be over $11 billion this year, and Microsoft to dip to $9 billion, giving Nintendo the second place share of the console market for 2018.
Good news.
It's pretty impressive.
Microsoft's been very slow with stuff. Like they don't have a ton of exciting things. I know I'm excited for Sea of Thieves, but a lot of other people aren't super into it, and their big franchises are not around right now. Maybe we get a Halo announcement at E3, but other than that, there's no reason why Switch wouldn't overtake them.
It's things like these that make me believe, things like this that very much makes me believe E3 will be a coming out party for third parties. And not just at Nintendo's Direct, but I very much feel that games are announced and it's like PS4, Xbox One, and Switch. PS4, Xbox One, and Switch. When you have a, trying to get a little excited here. When you have $11 billion in purchases, what publisher doesn't want to be a part of that, right? When all of a sudden you are saying, hey, we're going to have a bigger chunk of the pie than Microsoft and Xbox, be silly to keep putting out year-old titles, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like the common thread is that E3 sort of is a line in the sand. At least that's the hope.
Next E3. I think this E3.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I
think this is still an E3 of old ports?
Yeah, for now.
I think the Switch has proved its worth.
It has, but the new things are going to take a while to make. Ports are easier financially. They're easier just time-wise because you already have a lot of the assets and things of that nature. So you continue to cash in on these things, especially if they're doing well, as you know, Xenoverse has proven, and Skyrim, Doom, things that do well on Switch that are old games. Why not keep making money on those things? These companies need to like take advantage while they can. I think they have this year, and next year I think it becomes silly, but I think they have the rest of this year to do it.
Some discussion about Crash. He was not in PlayStation All-Stars. And yes, Nintendo did add Cloud to the recent Smash. So putting Crash in, or Goku for that matter, would not be that out of the ordinary. Still, people asking, Porter new game. I'm Team Port. Gabe's team new game.
Mm-hmm.
Jacob Kim wants to know, what is your opinion on Detective Pikachu for 3DS?
I don't have it. The voice is weird. I'm not gonna play Detective Pikachu 3DS.
Gabe plays Detective Pikachu in real life every darn day.
Yeah, basically.
I'm excited. March 23rd. I'll give it a check. Let's see here. A couple more questions. It's been a very, very busy day. A lot of people are really hung up on the fact that it says Smash is a
Ooh,
working title.
yeah.
But go ahead.
What I was gonna mention is people wanted Animal Crossing.
Hmm.
Didn't happen. What do we think?
I mean, there's no evidence that it is or it isn't, but I don't think it's a 2018 thing.
No. Okay. Just because I've seen it mentioned here in chat a few times, and I knew that that was something that people really wanted. Twitter was ablaze with Animal Crossing stuff in the morning. I saw a lot of big press people saying, "Hey, Crossing or we revolt" type thing. That was the sentiment out there. So I was just curious.
The weird one to me is no Fire Emblem, but
Yeah.
we'll take a couple more questions and then we are going to close it out. Thank you guys and girls, by the way, for showing up. We will be back with another one of these next week. We'll announce that. Get them on a regular schedule as well. These daily directs are a lot of fun. Zachary Johnson says, is there any indie game that you guys still want to come out on Switch?
Indie game I want on Switch. Do you have one?
I would love Deep Rock Galactic to make its way to Switch.
I would love for them to release the indie games they already announced.
Yeah.
I want Wargroove, man.
Yeah, no more new indie games. We need Hollow Knight. We need Pocket Rumble. We need Wargroove. We need Flipping Death. There are still so many that haven't seen the light of day that we really need to get to. But I think we are going to take one more question here and then close things out. In closing, it was a phenomenal day. You got a new Smash Brothers or a Port Smash Brothers or a Port Plus Smash Brothers. A big gaming day in general, like, just to sort of acknowledge the greater industry. Division 2, Black Ops 4, Fortnite Mobile, Smash Brothers. It's a convergence point, March 8th, right?
Yeah.
We're gonna end with this one here. Eli Kennemer says, when do you think we get a new UI or some sort of system level upgrade?
Hopefully with the online stuff. I mean, right?
Themes,
Yeah. The online update is when it would make sense. Who knows when they do it? I mean, I'm gonna bet.
Yeah,
I would bet for the online thing. So September.
I think E3 they do show some new system features. I don't know if they're as fully fleshed out as like a full on new UI or anything like that. In fact, I don't think it'll be that, but I do hope we get at least some more apps and themes. I think that would be great. I think it would also be great if we got a little R&R. It has been a wonderful day, and it's been a wonderful show. Thank you so much for being here for the second ever Daily Direct. We are tightening the screws on these things so that we can get them more regular and more replicable, so we can bring you them more often. But thanks so much for being here. We'll be back with more of them next week. We'll continue to cover this Direct and Smash Brothers and see if anyone can sleuth their way into more details. We'll keep you posted as soon as we have those. If you do want to get in on the lovely first year edition, limited edition t-shirts, we still have them available. There's hoodies, there's shirts. They're available in Joy-Con red and Joy-Con blue, and then a beautiful gray t-shirt that merges the two together. Links in the description below for that. Also, our Discord. A lot of you from our Discord in here tonight. Thank you for being here. We do appreciate you. And that is a great place to find other friends to discuss Switch with, to play Switch with. And from time to time, Gabe and I do drop in and give you guys some sneak peeks. So it's a pretty cool place if you want to dive a little deeper into Nintendo or the Switch Force community. I think that about covers it. It's crazy that we go to sleep tonight with a new Smash Bros. On Switch. I don't think anyone expected that. I'm going to read Darius Truxton's comment because it blows my mind. Travis Strikes Again was the best part of the Direct. I'll leave you with that thought. That we do not agree with at all, but I'll leave you with that. Have a great night, everyone. Thanks so much for watching. We will see you again soon. Another Daily Direct coming at you next week. Tomorrow night, live stream Splatoon 2. If you want to be there and partake in the Splatfest, we will be live when that thing goes live. Until then, though, for myself and Gabe, good night, hallelujah, Smash, and Switch Force